bullish part, I would say, is that there's no particular reason to believe that there's a 4-year cycle intact. We haven't hit euphoric levels this cycle compared to prior cycles. Therefore, there's less of a reason to expect a major capitulation of sorts. That's famous last words, but basically you hit less euphoric highs, there's kind of less to potentially wash out. And I think as we return to a more pro-liquidity environment, and as some of the coins that were maybe held for the wrong reasons are already evacuated, I think the cycle could go on for longer than people expect because it's not driven by the halving. It's driven by broader macro and interest in the asset itself.
I always wonder why someone like Lynn Alden hasn't been swept up in the political swamp of the American government. I mean, they have like, what is it, 200 PhD economists at the Fed. Meanwhile, there's all these rogue, economic minds out there. Maybe because they do so much better on their own. Yeah, maybe they're more remarkable than the retards in government. So they're like, I don't want to, why would I do that? Some people probably feel like a civic duty or something. Like they owe it. They want to be serve the public. But that's not really what they do. We know they don't serve that. Imagine if we had a bunch of Lynn Aldens in the Fed. Now, if we go down that scenario, I was thinking about Trump's legacy. Because every president they have books to write after they're done, right? They need to write a book about something. So they have a legacy in mind. And this is what I think Trump's legacy is. So you have to find out what is motivating these people to do things. What is their end goal? Just to, kick the can down, status quo? No, I think Trump's too much of an egomaniac to do that. I think his legacy has to be the most memorable president in history, right? When you think about Trump, it's like, if you were to ask him, do you want to be the most memorable president in history, or one of the miscellaneous? One of the miscellaneous sounds pretty good. No, he wants to be the most memorable. So I think in order for him to be the most memorable, it'd be quite shocking if he just kind of went out with a whimper, lost the midterms, and then we get Kamala Harris. It'd be fantastic. I can imagine a world run by Kamala Harris. It doesn't matter. I think that we kind of know that they're just puppets in their own way. But even puppets need to write books on what they did during the puppet show. So I think if he really wants to eclipse all presidents when it comes to being the most memorable and historic, right? The most historic. If you're doing something, you might as well be the best. You might as well be the GOAT, right? You just don't want to be some cog in the wheel, like a brain dead Biden. It's like, I was president? How'd I do? Bad? Probably wasn't me then. Anyway, Trump, long story short, I think his legacy will be eradicating the debt and sunsetting the Fed. If he really wants to be the most memorable president of all time, he'll have to do those two things. Anything other than that, no one really cares, right? It's like, he's not really the president of peace. That he's maintained a bunch of wars, right? So that's off the table. Why I stopped some? Well, there's still some going. You let some kind of drag on. You're supposed day one, right? Remember this day one thing? Anyway, long story short, in order for him to do this, he will have to eradicate the debt, and I think he does that with Bitcoin. He reevaluates gold, isn't it? Don't they carry it at $42? Like to me, there's this glaring red flag in the price of the alleged gold they hold priced at $42. And just repricing it would, give them enough money to maybe get that strategic Bitcoin reserve without any, tax neutral or whatever they call it. However, there may be some third party risk with China, reevaluating gold higher I think China has more gold, but anyway, if the ultimate is to restructure the monetary system in a Bitcoin standard, where we're dealing with Satoshis and not dollar bills, that might have to be done. And in order for that to be done, once that's implemented, he can sunset the Fed. Now, how historic? I think there's only been one. Old Hickory, Andrew Jackson. I think on his grave, on his tombstone, it says, "I killed the banks," something like that. Could be wrong, but I know he did kill a couple central banks. And he's been remembered ever since, right? He, like as some dummy Canuck knows Andrew Jackson killed the banks. Although, it's always been my mission to align with the destruction of the banking system and the fiat currency and the inflation and all that stuff. It's crazy because, I saw an article. I don't think I have it, but it was on X about, I do have it. Do I? I don't know, I'm not going to look for it. This girl talking about how no one learns about money, right? Where she was 21 before she even took a course on what money is. And that's for a reason. They don't want you to know that you're being stolen from through inflation. They want you to create a boogeyman greed narrative. Oh, these goddamn grocery stores and their prices going up. They're so greedy, right? They'd rather everybody fighting amongst themselves. Now, as far as the charts go, we are about to lose 91K. A little bit of insult to injury on an otherwise horrible week. We will get back to the title of the thumbnail, which was the worst November in Histoire. But we have just been rejected from the 20 moving average, which is not good, but to be expected. I think we should probably put in a channel of descension here. Maybe we'll go, let's go right about the 20 moving average. About there. Extend it down. Yeah. So, we still have this 84.4 just for my future videos. 84.4. If it hits it, we don't want it to hit. But without any bullish prowess entering this market, it'll probably just drift down. Right? We'll see. Now, bulliciously speaking, if we're not over the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart, like this noisy little so-and-so, which is kind of inconsequential, which is at 92.3, we just can't get past it. I thought we were going to yesterday, maybe with the NVIDIA earnings coming out rather bullish, Are we getting a run? Hey, Terry Crow, are we getting run by Clash grifters? I saw a thing on George's channel because he's been grifting this Clash, and it's going down. He's like, I don't know what's happening. These whales, they promised this, they promised that. It's okay, George. You just wrecked your whole audience. No big deal. He's probably like, this is my last bull run, guys. Here's a meme coin. It's my meme coin. You should all buy it. It's going down. Don't worry. It'll go back up. It's unfortunate. I think that might be a little bit of a black eye for someone with seemingly pretty good legacy in the crypto sphere. I've always liked George. I only got a red flag when he started heavy shilling that Clash. I think there's someone in here that always shills Clash too. I mean, at this stage in the game, my friends, if you're shilling a meme coin or whatever it is, you're not on the right side of history, unfortunately. Yeah, I shut them off too. You know what? One House Production is funny because like in the attention economy, I like to think shutting off videos at certain points, are data, right? So like I can look on videos. When do people tune out, right? And for me, it's completely miscellaneous. There's no real thing that I would just think people maybe get bored around 20 minutes or whatever. But I would think that with George, as soon as he cuts to Clash, I think it just drops off, and he probably saw it. And then that's probably when the price dumped. So yeah, he has a pretty large audience, Terry Kerr. He's like, I usually watch George on my way to the gym because he's just kind of on right at that time. And he's a bullish little so-and-so, which is nice to hear every now and then. It's reassuring. No, you come here, you get bad news. If there's bad news to be talked about, I'll probably talk about it. But anyway, let's take a look at the thumbnail. Let's refer back to that thumbnail, the worst November in Histoire. Let's see where we stand right now on November 25 candle. It hasn't closed yet. We're just going to go from open to close. We're not using the wicks, the long hair don't care wicks. So right now we're at about 15%. November 24 obviously was a way better November, kind of stereotypical, 38%. Now 23, where's 23? Oh, this little gal here. November 23 was a 10%. Nothing to write home about, but hey, we'll take 10% in this month, right? It might get us back to zero even. Now we go deep into the clutches of the bear market, 2022, where we all knew where we stood. We are in a bear market. We weren't as miserable as we were now. We were actually a little more, I don't know, carefree and fancy free back then. Let's see where is this November here? Here it is. We had a 15%. So we're kind of the same as it stands now. If it gets better, we won't have the worst. But maybe there's the worst. Let's go back to so this is December 21 in the fourth quarter of the bull run, where we are now. And we have a 19%. Wait a second. No, that's December. Huh. So we're just going candle. Open to close. 6%. December was worse. Oh, imagine September being worse. September could take us down into the 60s, 70s for all I know. Nothing's guaranteed. We're not like there's being a white male in Canada with no family money. There's no guarantees. Let me just guarantee this. There's no guarantees. There's no one coming to save you. There's no one going to help you. Whether people say that the Q4 is always up, there's no guarantees on that. And once you understand that, you now have the power of responsibility, right? So if you're sitting here trying to surf on a Q4 upside and it doesn't happen, well, it's your fault, right? Or it's my fault. Sorry about that. November 2020. Oh, we had a nice big old green candle here. What was that? 43%. Sweet. Now, where are we here? Let's go back to 19. Where are we? 19. Okay, let's make this bigger here. They look pretty normal, these candles, but we're back in the Netherlands of price, right? So they're probably pretty huge. How much was this? 17%. So we are up around, I think the worst one was that the worst one? 70% back in 2000. Anyway, we get into like the annals of price action as we go back. Now that we're in the law of large numbers, it's even worse that we're even kind of comparing to those law of small numbers. Do you know what I mean? So this is, not the greatest monthly chart that, we're going to call a spade a spade. It's not the greatest candle. Now, things can get worse, but here's a little omen into the future. Let's say, for instance, let me just, we get a massive pump, right, into the Christmas rally. Hey, I was guaranteed a Christmas rally. Let's just say we do it. And we, hit an all-time high. What we would have here, because we would basically, bears would run this up. Maybe I'll use this guy up right here. Yeah. The bears would run this up to here, and it would turn green. And then we would hit, say, an all-time high of 140, right? What does that leave, you ask? Well, what we would have here is an unbelievable wick. Come on. Work with me here, TradingView. Come on, TradingView. There we go. Holy shit, TradingView, come on. What are you, a noob? Why isn't this working? It's obviously user error. I'm well aware of that. Trend line. Anyway, why isn't that working? It's so weird. Come on. I should know because we're about to renew, right? I renew on Black Friday. Interesting. Not working. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. This will leave the mother of all wicks. This wick will be a 22% wick. 22% wick, right? So we would be hella bullish. All-time highs. This cycle's broken. It is broken. Not really. If we have another high in the Q4, it's not really broken, right? But that which once wicked will get candlestick. You can see where I'm going with this. This low here at 89, if we see a massive pump, we'll just return to it probably in 6 months. So that is making me think, well, how about this? I'll make you a deal, market gods. Screw the 140 upside. If we're just going to go there and like hit it, ting, and then come all the way back down. Let's just, we don't need it. Let's just go from here. You know, if you want to go down lower, let's go down lower. We can start building another position for the next bull run. You know, if you want to. Duke would definitely call you a noob. He does. Actually, he doesn't. You know, it's like, is that a is that a sign of compassion in his mind? He doesn't want to make fun of his dad, right? One House Productions. Influencers are changing in the last month. Jeb isn't talking the Bible anymore. George Shilling Cash, thanks for your consistency and piano magic. Oh, well, you're welcome. The thing is, it doesn't bode well for the channel, you know. People like to tune in for nothing but bullish, sweet nothings. I get it, you know, because it's, you know, when I kind of align myself with the Ben Cowan, where it's like, this is what it's saying. Or what does he say? He says, don't trade the market you want, trade the market you have. You know, that's pretty based when it comes to the markets. You know, but I say don't trade the markets. Trading the markets is like trying to understand why your wife's crazy, right? There's reason which reason knows not of. So you can spend your whole life wondering why your girlfriend or your wife is crazy, and you'll never know. So for instance, like let's say you have a girlfriend in Canada and she is complaining about her tires. This is how the market works in this kind of women markets, right? My tires, they're so slippery. It's harder to drive, right? And so you being a sweet guy, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go get her some winter tires at my own cost, you know, probably anywhere from $600 to $2,000, depending on the make of the vehicle. So you get the winter tires when she's out having her nails done with her sewing circle. And then you come back and you're like, ta-da, I got your winter tires. Now this is us expecting Q4 guaranteed upside, right? Hey, I did everything, you know, I kind of thought you would like, and I'm kind of expecting you to be a little bit grateful for it. She sees him, goes, where's the hubcaps? There's just, I don't like that. It's like, that looks ugly. Doesn't have hubcaps on it. It's just like the raw tires. It's like, well, this is you. It's safe. I mean, you have grip now in the snow. Q4 upside. Wait a second, right? And she's like, I don't like it. I don't like these tires. Thanks, but I don't like it. And you're like, what the hell? I can't believe it. Why wouldn't she like that? I did everything right. Hey, that's the market, right? It's exactly how the market treats most people that try to decipher it. Now, are we deciphering the market with technical astrology? Yeah, to a certain degree. We're just running over the data where the historical echoes, which might kind of tell us where she might be going. Now, if we want to get really bearish, and Wick's like, no, stop it with the bearishness. We've almost retested this 20 moving average. And why is that in particularly of any importance? Well, these moving averages are important when we go back to historical echoes. And we see, well, what happened the last time we went under the 20 moving average? Well, we have to go back to hot diggity dog, the 2021 Q4 peak. Here it was, 69K. Everyone's like, where's 100K? I do like 69K, but where is 100K? Chadwick, I'm sending a cease and desist for Bitcoin for its bearishness. Someone sue him. Anybody know a good lawyer? Sue the Bitcoin price, for Christ's sake. Get it right on the back of a lawfare. Anyway, you can see here we threw a wick underneath the 20 moving average. This is the weekly chart, by the way. No, this is the monthly chart. Underneath, and then we kind of ran it up in a little bit of denial. This is if we extrapolate down into like the daily or the weekly, this will be that 38.2% bull market rejection zone. It's probably right here, and we just threw a wick over, and everyone was happy. We're back, and then it closed under, and like, ooh, isn't that the bull market rejection zone that pianomattyb kind of talks ad nauseum about? Anyway, and then when we finally closed underneath the 20 moving average of the 2021 bull market, that was all she wrote, right? That was it. And then we spent, how long did we spend here? Well, we spent about, let's say we got over it here, 14 months underneath it. But bearing in mind that from the time we crossed it to our bottom was, come on, buddy. What's going on with this? You want me to renew here and you're barely working? What is that? 8 months. It was 8 months from when we crossed to the bottom. Right. These are good things to keep in mind when you're planning your next, payload distribution, if it were. And then after that, it was essentially up and away in my bullish channel that was always being bullish. Let's see if there's any of that that went for 2017. Here we are. Oh, I see. Yeah, there wasn't much of one. Okay, with 20 moving average on the monthly stops there. So there's not too much historical data on that. We did get under it, but that was the bottom. We're in the annals of the price action there. The monthly chart on Trading Views, like I don't like giving data past 2018. I've not been really correlated that much. So anyway, that's the importance of the 20 moving average on the monthly chart. We just got to keep an eye on that. It is only going up. I mean, that's the good news. Every time we dip down, the 20 moving average is generally higher. How far did price action? So we started rounding here. How much time did it spend going down? 31 months of the monthly. 31 months? No, 18 months. Don't have specs on. 18 months of the moving average going down. But that doesn't mean the price was going down. It already tanks, and then the moving average follows, and then it starts going up, and then the moving average follows, right? So these are just interesting things historically moving forward if and when, there's no more oompah in this bull market, and she just slides down. Now, some of the reasons why I think that there is more power in this and that the cycle maybe not broken, but muted, so to speak, is that Denny Kane does TA work on the minute chart. It's all a fractal, right? There's no difference between the monthly and the minute. It just moves faster. It's like a Christopher Nolan movie, right? What was that one where they're in everything folds in about dreams or something like that? Anyway, is because of the midterms. And my initial thesis earlier on this video was that Trump, being an egomaniac, wanting to go down in history, doesn't want to go down in history as the worst. He wants to go down in history as the best. And in order to do that, he has to maybe artificially inflate the stock market at whatever it has to do. And maybe that is revaluing gold, and we go into this massive macro gold battle between gold and Bitcoin as we work into the midterms. And plus, he's got the Epstein files in his hand, a couple of die, right, ready to put it down on the craps table. That I think is one of his back pocket hands. You know, all these people kind of know this, unless it's just complete kabuki theater. Inception, that's what it is, Jabe. And then boom. And that could, if the cards in those Epstein files favor one party or the other, let's say it favors the Republicans. But I would say there's as many PDF retard reptilian rent-seeking parasitic class in the Republicans as there is in the Democrats, because they're all just getting their bread buttered. As well, I get more butter from this party, right? And when they don't, they go to the other party. I get more butter from this party, right? And butter is, you know, again, it may be, you know, in the PDF, you know, if you know what I mean. I get more PDFs over on this thing, and they seem to be a little more quiet. The parties are better too, you know, not as many masks. I don't like these big masks. I like to see who's at these parties. Anyway, and then that would roll into 2026. So I know we keep putting off whether the cycle's broken. Like if something doesn't happen, we're like, well, let's just wait to see if this happens, right? So right now we're at Q4. It in theory isn't broken. There's a peak in Q4, right? We had 126 October, whatever 6th it was, and then so that if the peak was there, then that isn't a broken cycle, right? Now, if there is a broken cycle, we would see 2026 roar back due to the economic distortions that Trump would run into the economy to make sure that the midterms are a huge success. He maintains all the, you know, party prowess he needs, and ensuring, you know, maybe he brings it, because really at the end of the day, most democracies are monarchies, you know, maybe he brings in his sons as the next front runner, you know, and if there's enough, if he butters enough people's bread and he puts in, you know, Donnie Jr. or Eric, you know, or maybe in 20 years, Baron Trump. I could see people, as long as their butter is bread or their bread is buttered, they'll kind of vote with whoever's buttering their bread. Let's see. Check out under the hood here. We are at Fear and Greed 15. It's low, but there's another crypto Fear and Greed one. This guy 11. Yeah. When was the last time? Max. So here we are. Yeah, we've been this low. When was this? No, I can't get it on the little dot there. I can't get it. Anyway, it was close back here in February 25. A year ago, we were this low. And boy, did we skyrocket. Put in 50K. It might not be something, but sure ain't nothing. You know, from the lows in February to 126 is almost 50K. But we'd almost have to, you know, put 50K in just to get back to like meh, right? Because right now we are in an insane amount of negative sentiment. And, you know, with 50K, we just might finally reach market meh. Make sure you like and subscribe and share